Well, hello everybody. Here I am. I'm back at TMC again. Sunday afternoon, and it's nice outside. A bit cold. It's not particularly warm in here. Never mind. So, request for hymns. I'm playing the first one, "Dear Lord and Father of Mankind." But I've played this a couple of times, I know, but we're doing it this time to the additional tune "Rest," which is at the back in the additional tune section of the Methodist hymn book. And I have printed that music up for you. It's in the Methodist hymn book, it's in a lower key, so it's a bit easier to sing. But this was a request from my Uncle Graham down in Point, so I'm delighted to play that now. Dear Lord and Father. I seem to think that the printed copy we have has only got 4 verses, but there are 6 verses in hymns and psalms. gorgeous tune. Lovely sort of chromatic bits where the notes, where they slide down by the smallest step on the keyboard. And then tenors, lots of chromaticism where we move by semitone, by the smallest degree obtainable on the keyboard. And you can, with your voice of course, you can slide through the notes. You can slide between there and there. You can slide up through the keyboard, go from there to there, and that's it. Anyway, so now 410 from the Methodist hymn book to a tune which I had to go off and look up. And now, once again, I think the amount of verses here are going to be different. In fact, the words on my sheet are different, but never mind. Join in a song was sweeter, or join in a song was sweeter, and then us around the throne. So what we will do is here, goodness me, I'm going to play the, what am I going to do? I don't know, because all the words are so different. Otherwise, if I do 4 verses as they are set in 410 in the Methodist hymn book, we're going to be doing this 8 times. So let's not do that. So let's do verse 1 complete, which will actually divide into 2 verses. I'm sure you'll be with me. And then we will do verse 4 from the Methodist hymn book. The men of grace have found, glory begun below. So we're going to do verse 1 and verse 4. Okay, so hopefully that'll work. Come ye that love the Lord. This is a tune from way back, but I feel sure you'll soon get the hang of it. So I might play it through though. It's a jolly one, this one. Seemed to be slightly different to what I remember. So if you remember it differently and I remember it differently, in a minute we'll sing what we belong to sing, if that makes some sense. Okay, so I did think some of the notes were slightly different there. You can tell I've practiced this, can't you? So here's a little introduction. Off we go. apologies, I didn't quite get those words right, did I? Now, if you're not sure of the tune and all the rest of it, and you think, gosh, that's a new one to me, the good thing about these recordings is that you can go back and do it again. Now, I did say that I was thinking of doing a harvest of the sea, as it were, and these are some of the hymns that were suggested for doing harvest of the sea. Brightly beams our Father's mercy. I must remember to look up and speak, otherwise I shall be in trouble. 582, you won't be able to hear what I'm saying. 582. Most strange being in here talking to myself. Anybody who's listening, I feel sure I go off my head. 582, brightly beams our Father's mercy. Let the lower lights be burning. God, I've done this for years. So, brightly beams. So we'll have a slightly bright registration, shall we? So here's an introduction. think the request from that hymn came from a couple of places. One from Shirley Bassett from Porthleven, where I'd seen the Harvest of the Sea. I know they do one down there, and Colin. Now, Colin has given me some lovely information about Philip Bliss, the writer and composer of this hymn. And of course, all the information is on the phone, so I can't give it to you in detail. but Philip Bliss sadly was lost in a train accident at a fairly early age. A train crossing a bridge. If I've got this wrong, I shall re-record it. Crossing a bridge, and it collapsed into a ravine. They had two children, a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old, and Philip Bliss went back to rescue his wife. The train caught fire, but sadly he was lost and his wife was lost as well. The children were saved. Now I hope I've recounted that correctly. If I haven't, you will see an edit in the film, in this video, where I've corrected myself. 167, Fierce Rage the Tempest. Some of these hymns I've not played for years. And it's really good to be able to do them again. I've forgotten about them as time goes on. I tend to sort of forget these hymns. So Fierce Rage the Tempest. So once again a bit of word painting, tuned by John Bacchus Dykes, the words by Godfrey Thring, and the tune St Aelred. Fierce Rage the Tempest, so I'm going to go for my full swell, the 32 foot. Remember I told you about full swell last time, all the stops in the swell which make a difference. What I didn't mention last time, we talk about the swell division. All the pipes in the swell division are enclosed in a box. So you can swell the sound, because the box has Venetian blinds, if you like, on the front. And I can close those Venetian blinds tight, so it sort of cages up the sound, and then I can open it and get a crescendo. And of course, like Venetian blinds, the first bit of the opening is the most important, but you get most light as soon as you open them. You get the most sound as soon as you open them. But it does keep going and getting louder until they're fully open. So there we go. I'm going to start out with full swell, and I'm going to keep the box shut, so it's sort of what we call caged up, if you like, roaring to go, plus the 32 foot rumbling down at the bottom. So here we go. Fierce Rage the Tempest. summer in that. And haven't we had some wild weather? Wasn't it wet yesterday? And there were pictures I saw of the Solonian. Whether they were from earlier in the year or not, but it looked like she might have been sailing yesterday. So for all those people out working on the sea, do take care. Pass me not, O gentle Saviour, from the Gospel Call section of the hymn book. Saviour, Saviour, hear my humble cry. All these sorts of words of pleading and thinking. Often perhaps things aren't going quite so well. So. those of you who have been listening over the weeks, we'll be 28 weeks in now, or something like that, may have thought, oh yes, that's what's going to happen next. And you'll be able to predict what's going to happen next. So we had a tonic shift for the last verse, a semitone step up, and an extra chorus. It's the phrase we used to have, "Have 'em again, boy, have 'em again," or something. So I'm not averse to an extra chorus. Why not? So you'll begin to predict the things I do, and possibly the colours and things as well. If there's anything about trumpets and things, well, we'll get the trumpet out and give that a blast. If there's anything about sin and desolation and things, then it's sort of full swell with the box closed and so on. Anyway, I digress. So, but you may have noticed there's a sort of a pattern, however. So, and hopefully you remember too, when I was talking last week about, or whenever it was, playing legato and things, and playing smoothly, how I use the tune I'm going to use for the next hymn, Aurelia, to 958, O God, the Rock of Ages, which are words I don't particularly know, but I was looking in the book for an evening hymn, and this is, I think I'm right, it says opening and closing of the year. Oh, well, I'm not in quite the right place, but the first verse, O God, the Rock of Ages, who evermore has been, what time the tempest rages, our dwelling place serene. So I thought, oh, well, there is a little reference to tempests and storms and things, so I thought it would fit in. And an ocean without a shore. So there's a loose connection there, isn't it, for the idea of harvest of the sea. Church is one foundation, a lovely tune, Aurelia. So I will, and the organ possesses a device, it's called the tremulant. It shakes the wind. Ooh. It is working. I think it's gone a little bit fast. But so here's a sound that I don't think I've used yet, and certainly on the electronic at home the tremulant doesn't work very well. So, but it's one of the sounds that you can actually create from this organ. The Church is one foundation is the tune, and O God, the Rock of Ages, who evermore has been, are the words. Our last hymn for today. Samuel Sebastian Wesley, and can wax lyrical about him as an organist of various cathedrals, but we'll save that for another day. But aren't they smashing words? Not familiar with them, but aren't they just beautiful poetry by Edward Henry Bickersteth? Well, there we are. Another Sunday done. So I'm going to switch the organ off and put it to bed, and I will be playing again on Thursday. Keep your requests coming in. I'm really pleased to do some of those today, some that I haven't done for a while, and tunes. Would you believe my iPhone ran out of video space just as I'd gotten to the end? You can imagine my horror when I looked at the phone and it appeared that everything I had done may have been lost. Fortunately, there was just enough space to get it on. So anyway, there we are, Hymns from TMC, probably back here on Thursday, and thank you for looking in, and good night and God bless. Stay safe, stay well.